Here's more wrestling news for September 29th, 2022. And we're starting off this afternoon with AEW Dynamite, where Chris Jericho had a celebration in honor of his own ROH World Championship win. After capturing the title last week, Jericho was eager to gloat about his win, but Angelo Parker had some interesting verbiage for the segment. Right in the opening moments, Parker told the fans to appreciate us, a line many online felt was borrowed by the Bloodlines' Acknowledge Us. On social media, fans ripped on the Jericho Appreciation Society for imitating the Bloodline, saying that the line was unoriginal from the group. Jericho and his group haven't exactly shied away from referencing WWE, with Y2J calling the fans the AEW Galaxy as opposed to the WWE Universe, and calls himself a sports entertainer, so this line from Parker was on brand for the JAS. This line from Parker would just be the start of the segment, which hasn't exactly thrilled audiences. During the segment, Jericho gifted a purple bucket hat to Daniel Garcia, who threw it on the floor in disgust. Bryan Danielson then interrupted, setting up a tag team match in a scene that wouldn't have looked out of place in WWE. On Twitter, fans exploded at the intro, with some questioning when exactly Vince McMahon started booking AEW Dynamite. From the goofy props to the long opener just to set up a match, the segment had McMahon's fingerprints all over it and likely would have been decimated by AEW fans had something like this kicked off a 3-hour Raw. With McMahon gone, WWE has seen a notable improvement with their own shows, as many old tropes of the company have been phased out, but fans didn't appreciate seeing a staple from McMahon-era WWE open last night's Dynamite. At WrestleMania, Roman Reigns unified the WWE and Universal Championships, a huge moment that the company has quickly regretted. Within weeks of the unification, reports came out that the USA Network has been unhappy, as Reigns rarely appears on Raw, leaving the Red brand without a top champion. Yesterday, we reported on WWE's plans to introduce new championship designs, and this will affect the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Zero News reported that both the WWE and Universal Champions will be part of this redesign, but that the titles will not be unified into one physical belt. This implies that WWE does have plans to split the WWE and Universal titles up, as the promotion wants 2 World Championship matches to take place at WrestleMania 39. There's still no word on when or how WWE will split the titles, as they do not want Reigns to take a loss on the road to WrestleMania, but expect both the WWE and Universal belts to be changed in the not-too-distant future. If rumors are to be believed, Bray Wyatt's return to WWE could just be a matter of weeks away, as the former Universal Champion is believed to be the White Rabbit. WWE has been teasing something big with their cryptic videos and incidents at live events and during commercial breaks, but Bray may not be coming alone. At least that's what Ronda Rousey hopes is the case, as during a YouTube video game stream, the ex-UFC fighter named who should return alongside The Fiend. Oh god, if Bray Wyatt came back, I would die. You know what I would love? If Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas came back and Bo was part of his cult. I just want to see them together, why not? Bo and Bray have been polar opposites on screen, but the pair are real-life brothers, and are both the sons of former WWE superstar IRS. WWE has brought back several ex-superstars as part of the company's new era, and though Wyatt could indeed be next, his brother's comeback may not be far behind. Back to Dynamite as Jon Moxley overcame New Japan's Juice Robinson last night in a world title eliminator, but his celebration was short-lived. Post-match, Adam Hangman Page appeared and didn't waste time getting in the face of the reigning AEW World Champion. Page earned a title match against Moxley during last week's Grand Slam Rampage, but fans had a mixed response to their face-off. While some were excited for the upcoming title match, others were critical of the decision to push Page, especially after the recent controversy with CM Punk. Punk's comments after All Out led to a fight breaking out backstage, but Punk is said to have only been angry because of a line Page used in a promo from months earlier. Other fans took a different response, absolutely loving Page's Dolly Parton shirt, and argued that the Moxley-Page feud feels big time. AEW is without some of their top stars, including Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, so while Page is now being given another opportunity to step up, many are questioning if this is the right call. Since returning in 2016, Goldberg has had a handful of matches for WWE, with his most recent coming at the Elimination Chamber event in February. Recently, Goldberg said that he doesn't have any matches left on his current contract, but it has been reported that he will compete at Crown Jewel in November. We now have an update on his situation, as no matter what Goldberg's status for the show is, he will be in Saudi Arabia. Zero News reports that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has personally invited Goldberg to the nation and will be at a car show the same day as Crown Jewel. It was also stated that if the Hall of Famer can make Crown Jewel, then he will, but no matter what, Goldberg fans in Saudi Arabia will get a chance to see the former Universal Champion in person. After AEW All Out and CM Punk's explosive media scrum comments, a fight broke out backstage, resulting in Punk, Ace Steel, and the Elite all being pulled from programming. None of these men have appeared for AEW in any capacity since what happened, but the Young Bucks may be gearing up for a return very soon. While speaking on Instagram to promote the Bucks' new shoe from Champ Sports, Matt Jackson reflected on his career, saying that the fans have been great to himself and Nick, and he's looking forward to seeing them very soon. Tony Khan has not given any date for when the ongoing suspensions will be lifted, but it is believed that the Bucks and Omega won't be punished as severely as Punk, who is believed to have started the fight. Right now, an investigation is being held which will determine who exactly is to blame and what further punishments Tony Khan should dish out, but it may not be long before at least the Bucks are back on TV. We've got some tragic news from WOW Women of Wrestling next, as ring announcer Dan Masters has died. On social media, Jack Ford confirmed the news, saying that Masters had died in an automobile accident in El Salvador. WOW is still trying to find their own spot in the wrestling world, and Masters was taken from this world far too soon, and we at Slatrock would like to offer our condolences to his friends, family, and those who knew him at this awful time. It's been months since fans saw Naomi in a WWE ring, as both she and Sasha Banks are continuing to serve their suspensions following the May 16th Raw walkout. Naomi may not have wrestled in a while, but she's been active outside the ring and has now partnered with Marvel. In a tweet, the former SmackDown Women's Champion shared an animated image of her holding Thor's hammer and promoted the DVD release of Thor: Love and Thunder. This promotional tweet marks Naomi's first appearance in a piece of Disney-owned content, following the footsteps of her tag partner Sasha Banks, who appears in The Mandalorian. At one point, it was believed that Naomi and Banks were done with WWE, which doesn't appear to be the case now that Vince McMahon has retired, and expect the Glow to bring the thunder when she next appears on WWE TV. During this week's Raw, The Miz once again tried to escape the clutches of Dexter Lumis, hiring his own private security deemed the Miz Force. This group proved to be very ineffective in trying to stop Lumis, and as you might expect, weren't a real security team. Thanks to the local competitor, we know that these guards were actually played by wrestlers in the local area, including Michael Richard Blaze, Jack Pride, Stephen Crow, Emmanuel, Andrew Love, and Bobby Shink. Blaze, Pride, and Crow are part of the Clandestine Society, a wrestling training facility based in Edmonton, while Love is the owner of indie promotion ACW Ontario. As for Shink, he is a graduate of Lance Storm's Wrestling Academy, but these names from the North couldn't save Miz, or themselves, from Dexter Lumis this week. As a WWE superstar and former Raw, NXT, and Women's Tag Team Champion, Rhea Ripley has accomplished a lot, but the journey to the top has not been easy. Like many people, Ripley has struggled with her mental health and has now opened up about some of the darkest days in her life. Sitting down with Fox Sports, Ripley spoke about the dark days and how close she was to ending her career. "I was like centimeters from just absolutely giving up and wanting it all to stop, and I wanted to go home. There was a lot of things that went into that. I just sort of had to change my mentality and realize I had worked so hard to get to the point that I was at, and I wasn't going to let these things stop me." Ripley lives in the US these days, thousands of miles away from her family in Australia, and that clearly takes a toll on the Raw superstar. Nevertheless, Ripley was able to overcome these dark days and is pleased with the success she's having, and we can expect more of that with the Judgment Day on her side. Until his final farewell in 2020, The Undertaker rarely broke character, but there were a few times when the dead man let the mask slip. In 2002, during a feud with Brock Lesnar, the Beast's advocate Paul Heyman introduced Tracy, who it was claimed that The Undertaker had been having an affair with while his then-wife Sarah was pregnant. Ditching kayfabe, Tracy called The Undertaker Mark, a nod to his real name of Mark Calloway, but the angle was quickly ditched. In his book, There's Just One Problem, former WWE head writer Brian Gewirtz explained that the reaction was so bad from fans that Vince McMahon decided to ditch the storyline, and Tracy was off WWE TV in weeks, never to be seen again. It's not clear whether the reaction was bad because the fans didn't believe The Undertaker would cheat on his wife, or if they thought the angle was too much of a soap opera, though it was likely a bit of both. Tracy's last appearance for WWE was at the No Mercy 2002 event, where she admitted that the claims of an affair were all a lie, and WWE thankfully kept the dead man away from such soap opera storylines for the rest of his career. And we're ending with more from Gewirtz's book, which has proven to be a fascinating read to learn more about WWE behind the scenes. In 2002, while Gewirtz was working for WWE, the company brought back Vince Russo, who, like in WCW, had a lot of ideas that didn't go down well. In the book, though, Gewirtz claims that the rumor of Russo wanting to fire The Undertaker, believing nobody liked the character anymore, was completely false. Russo didn't want to fire The Undertaker, but he did want to strip the then WWE Undisputed Champion of the title without any explanation on screen and have a tournament to crown RVD as the new top star. Backstage, Russo's reasoning was that The Undertaker was not hip and cool, but the idea was rejected and Russo himself would be gone not long after. Stripping champions without a reason is exactly what happened in WCW in 2000, less than a year before the company collapsed. So it's probably for the best that this didn't happen in WWE. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.